Hey Stampin' friends, Darlene with Darling Stamps. Thanks for joining me. And my channel is a little, I wouldn't say eclectic, because I do try to stay within paper pumpkins, but this I want to use as a special set that's in a bundle, which is a Snowflake Wishes, and it has the matching dies. There's actually a matching stamping cut and emboss, or my big shot we'll call it, but these are the snowflakes. And then we're gonna do this. It's kind of a rage now, is the Slimline cards, and we'll give the sizes and measurements, and I'll be right back and let's see some ideas. So part of our cards is using the new, in our holiday mini catalog, is the Snowflake Splendor. And I have not done the Love It, Chop It, just because some of the different things I'm doing, one being the Slimline cards, to take a larger size base. So I've decided to wait on that because the paper is so pretty. It's kind of its own picturesque kind of thing, plus the balmy blue glitter paper. But I want to make the special envelope that's going to fit our little card. So taking the 8.5 by 11, we are going to, on, I call it the short side, we are going to score, make sure my cut is down here in my score. We're going to score at 2 1/4, and then I'm just going to flip it and do 2 1/4 here. Now I'm going to do 1 1/2 and score that. Whew, almost grabbed that silly cut one again. And then slide all the way over to 10 1/2 and go there. All right, let's take this, moves out of the way, and let's get some trimming done. So with the score, let's go ahead. Oh, and so on color, remember that the valley goes in, mountain goes out. So I'm just going to get these all together. If I score them or burnish them, they'll cut a little easier, and then I'm not trying to fight with it when I'm trying to fold it. All right, so we are going to do our miter cut at each one of the small ends, and then cut those down. Anyhow, we got snow today, so talk about kind of timing to do snowflakes, and it's snowing here. Now, when I started, we were right at about, I think, 4 inches. So, and it has not stopped. Now I want to come in on my edges. So as you get your little flap, you want to come in and miter these, and I'll show you in a minute why we want to do that. But miter that corner, and then we're going to miter this corner. Anyhow, it'll just make a lot more sense when I show you how important that is. Somehow my little boo-boo, I didn't do it right. That's right. All right, don't mind me. I mitered wrong. Supposed to miter in. Okay, same thing. So we are going to miter in here and miter in. If I cut it the way I'm supposed to, then I only make one cut, rather than before I cut and I had to cut again. Okay, got that mitered. And mitering is just going to the side of the score and kind of angling it up, is what they call miter. I mean, in construction they call it that, but I don't know that. Sometimes we think about it. Okay, so this is kind of how your box, well, envelope should look. Okay, now because I'm going to, before I get too carried away, I want to put a piece on my flap, and I want to do it while it's already out. So I have just a 2-inch piece, and I'm going to get this just glued down, And then I'll round the corners once my end is down. So I'll get that in. There. That way I'll have kind of a pretty end to that envelope. I mean, talk about custom. And this is probably, I mean, I'm doing this special just because I want my Slimline card to have an envelope that's a little special than plain old white. And because I don't have any white on hand, I could go get some, but anyhow. So it'll go fold, fold, this will go up, and this will go down. Isn't that pretty? Pretty, pretty. So that's going to be our envelope. And to get it all taken care of and get this done, we are going to, looks like I didn't do enough on this. Let me, hold on. Snip, snip, snip. Okay. All right. So we are going to, because when we close this, now this is just my tear and tape, and we are going to do here. Now I'm not going to, I'm not going to put glue on my lid yet. Now on this part of the bottom, or on the side, you want to be as close to this edge as possible, because our clearance is by far a little on the tight side. So we want to make sure we are as close as we can be. And that way we don't have any overlap. I love tear and tape. All right, so we're going to get this done. Zip, zip, zip. This will come over. This will come over. Now, this is why we had to miter. So these edges, that way when the flap comes over, you don't have the bulk. So it just takes that bulk out. The same for here. And we'll do this. And voila. All right, so there's our envelope. Now let's do our card. Okay, so this one's already done. So I'm going to, we'll put back that in just a second. So let me put my together here. Okay, so this was my sample. Okay. And the paper is just so pretty. It just kind of, as it's all by itself. And then see what I did on the edge. Here, I just did my own little stitching. You see that? So, so here's what I want to do. I want to, that's not going to stay up. Pooh. Okay. So here is the side that I used for that. There's also this side, which that was very, very pretty. So I will have all the measurements in the description. But basically we're looking at our card base at 4 by 8. I'm sorry. 9 by 8 scored at 4. So our 8-inch card will be at 4. And then the layer inside will be 3 5/8 by 8 5/8. And then the inside layer, or it's layered. So however you want to do it, I have this one bigger. So 3 5/8 by 8 5/8, 3.5 by 8.5. Okay, so that is our mix. I want to make sure, if you know me, I like using the inside of my cardstock to maximize. So I'm just going to take some of these out, because remember, nobody's going to see it. And we'll put this down. And I like the paper, because the paper not only is, reason why I got it, because it does not really depict just Christmas. So it kind of has snowflakes for a longer season than just Christmas. So that's why I thought it would be a good investment for designer paper. And I have others I've used as retired. And I want this to be my pretty side, or the top part, because I'm going to go vertical with this. And there's my layer. So See how that's coming together? We have a nice little, it's not going to be a half inch, it's going to be a quarter, no, it's going to be 1/8 of an inch as far as our border around there. And so I did this in the middle, but I'm going to use this one. It's just not going to stay up. I was going to try to do that. I'm going to put it down here towards the bottom. So this is our balmy blue, and this is our midnight mist, which is all the colors that are in this paper. I was going to raise this up, but because I want it to be as slimline, haha, hence the name, as possible, I don't want it to get too bulky. And then I'm going to have, I think, perfect, that'll fit just fine. We're going to have this one. Because this really isn't a Christmas theme. And so I can kind of do my own thing. Now remember, we want to make sure, let me get some bulk here. I want to make sure that I have a little bit of cushion, since I don't have, I don't have any cushion on my stamp. And we are just, I'm going to use the same color ink that is on my background. So this is the Misty, this is a new Moonlight, oh goodness, Misty Moonlight. All right, so I'm using that. That's why Stampin' Ups, when you make cards, they are so wonderful, because everything matches. Ooh, before I do that, hold on. I have ribbon that I want to put around this. And if you put it around before it goes down, it makes it real nice to have that layer. And I can put that down. And I just thought this is the balmy blue, and it's just really kind of iridescent, kind of pretty. And I'm going to put a bow, and I want to put it over on the side. And you know, most people do bows off camera because then they can fuss with them and make them pretty. But we are for the sake of just doing a bow. Come on. Okay, there you go. There. All right. Now, perfect. Now I can get this down. I want to put it right on that. If you put it right on the ribbon, it'll help to kind of have that stay down a little bit. Okay. Now that it's down, I'll be able to fuss with it, but I'm not going to fuss with it on camera just to save some time. So these are some of the die cuts of some of the snowflakes that have come out, and I actually did a lot of brushing on that, so it kind of deepened the color of the white. I could have done blue, but it just seemed like I would do better if I would try to work with the blue and bring out all the blue. Then this is just my hexagon, and I wanted a little bit of sparkle on the base. And so that is going to go right in the middle. And then this is, I actually stamped on it just a little bit, but it didn't show as much as I wanted to, but enough to where it would help a lot. Okay, so we get this done, and then this will go off-centered and go right in the middle. Now I had some, so there's that one. So there is one vertical, one horizontal. All right, I'll be right back, and I'll just show you some other ideas. All right, so this one, what I did was I just used the balmy blue as a layer, and then took a piece, kind of did 3 different sizes. Didn't really matter which was size. Did my stamping, but it kind of looked, it's kind of, there's not really a whole lot of layer to it. So I took one of the little stars with the balmy blue, and I'm going to put that right there. And it's, what it'll do is it won't give it a lot of bulk, but what it will do is add a pop. And I'm just going to off center it. Okay, so now look. So now, not only I didn't add any more bulk to it, and then I off-centered it, which gave it a whole lot of points on that snowflake. So thank you so much. Isn't that cute? Okay, now this one I just wanted to show real quick because one of the die sets in the die set has this beautiful snowflake. And so the layer of the DSP, it kind of lost a little bit of oomph to it. So I wanted to show you. So this will be my base. It's going to be vertical on my Slimline. And I've got balmy blue. And what I did, because the size of the embossing folder won't reach the whole amount. And I'm going to cover in the middle. So what I did was I just did half on this side and half on this side because I'm going to cover there. Okay, so there's my center. And I need to get my blade changed. I noticed that my edges are a little bit raw. Let's put it on that side so you don't see as much. Okay, so here's what I want to show you. So I can put white behind that, and that's okay, right? Or I can put just blue behind it, and that's okay too. But watch this. If I put the sparkle behind it, look what happens. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so that's what we're going to do. But I just want to show you that because, you know, sometimes when we design, we tend to, you know, think about it, or we get out, it's hard to get out of the box. So I thought, you know, if I show you some ideas as far as how I can utilize not only the aspects of the set, it also gives you hopefully some ideas because it's all about inspiration, right? All right, so I'm covering that middle, and then I'm going to just put this down, and that way I get my centering because I want it right in the center. So that's going to go right there. And it is kind of hard to get it to stick on here. So what I am going to do actually is I'm looking for my dimensionals. Not going to happen. Okay. So, you know what? This is what's nice. You get to improvise. Okay, so we're improvising. I was going to pop it up, but I'm thinking that it is just going to be just fine, just like that. Okay, so here is our card. We have our sparkle in the middle, that nice snowflake popping through. And then this is going to be our tag, our sentiment. It says, Snowflake wishes for a Merry Christmas. So I shared last video that I was trying to really get a jump start on my Christmas cards. And so what a neat idea. Oh, I get just so many kicks about being able to do that. So here is our beautiful card. So you not only have the texture from the embossing folder, you have the beautiful DSP, you have the sparkle from this sparkle paper, and then of course this beautiful, beautiful sentiment. So this kind of gives you a whole bunch of ideas. Oh, and don't forget, I'm going to use my, handy handmade envelope for my card. Voila. So that's where we have all of our creations that come to life. And if you have not looked at this set, this might be one to add to your set, to your stash. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me, and we'll talk to you soon.